Welcome back, Yah Royal family. Have another video for you and some updates. Praises to the Most High for all things, unto his holy name, honor and glory. Family, it says here that 7 reasons reparations lawsuit for 1.28 quadrillion US dollars is the best thing for Black Americans. So we'll go to that link soon. But first, I want to draw your attention to this next post that was done on December the 11th. He said, we got the signature from the White House. It's official. Tomorrow, December the 12th, we are dropping a major update. Great work, Ambassador Prince Michael. And it's coming from another associated page, Black America Mass Migration 2027. I'm not sure if I'm going to go there in this video, but that's another page, and they also have a website surrounding that as well. I want to take your attention to this. He said on December the 6th, there was a UAP UFO I saw was a major confirmation. So for those who are familiar with the UFOs, they're actually called chariots in the Bible. So major confirmation. So this is when, my Hebrew brothers have seen it out in the midst of them on the streets, preaching and teaching and, putting out their judgment on our people in other nations, letting them know what time it is, ones to come back to the fold in reference to repenting. They're often a lot of times chariots, just like, in the background of them in the video. And often they don't see it until they upload it. I happened to be one night and one of my Hebrew brothers looked over to the left real quick and he was like, well, I think I saw something. Then after that, right behind him, I was able to see it, and whoever else was watching the video, it was right behind him, actually, to his left. And so I was like, wow. So this confirmation, the chariots are the Most High's angels, and they're watching over us. For those who not familiar with this, speaks of this in the Bible, but not only that, just think about it. When they said that, Yeshua, Moses, Ezekiel, and ones went up into the cloud, what do you thought they were talking about? We were thinking, oh, they went up into a cloud. Well, they actually went up into what the cloud would be considered a chariot. So just want to, put that out there. So this video is actually the night from when he saw it. So you are welcome to go back. And he said that was confirmation. You can check that out. Let's click on in here and let's check it out. Let's see here. Okay, I thought maybe it would have let me. There we go. So it's BAM, BAMM, and 2027. And let's give a moment for it to update. And I'll get you the actual meaning of what BAM is. So it says Black Americans Mass Migration. That's what it means, okay? So this came out on December the 14th, 2019, and it says here, December the 12th, 2019, we announced 1.28 quadrillion as the total amount in damages filed against the estate of Abraham Lincoln and the United States in Northern District Court of Georgia on October the 2nd, 2019. Here's 7 reasons why this lawsuit is the best thing for Black Americans to push hard, closing out 2019 and opening up 2020. The first reason is before it evolved into a lawsuit, it was a complete self-sustainable solution for Black Americans to build 40 Black American cities right here in America with our own funds and resources that would be lawfully governed by Black Americans. That in itself was a strategic call to action that would activate the new diplomatic status for Black America as a whole, automatically placing us side by side with 55 presidents and prime ministers of Africa having their support. The loophole for the reparation legal case wasn't discovered until weeks after the BAM 2027 call to action garnered hundreds of signatures on the July 16th petition. After the loophole was found, that's when this system was validated as the perfect framework for the part of the legal remedy to rehumanize Black Americans who are technically still slaves. Another reason is, once again, before it became a lawsuit, it was providing the new Millennial Assembly Protocols, new MAP, as the actual system to centralize Black assets on local levels around the country, with the potential to structure 9 million Black businesses per year and plenty of employment opportunities. With the system, each business will have a natural inclination to contribute to the development of the new safe haven communities for Blacks. No Black leader has brought such a system teaching to the community to date. They are all guilty of outdated feel-good gatherings that provide no continuity or ways to measure progress. This was a priceless contribution to Black America long before any mention of a lawsuit, and it still holds its own own value with any government fundings. Concerning the dollar amount of $1.28 quadrillion dollars, it is a legal calculation that doesn't shortchange Black people and doesn't ask for more than what was determined by the legal research conducted. Please understand, this number does not include pain or suffering interest, so it's not something that was just made up out of the clear blue sky. Having said that, we know it's obvious that the amount is extremely high, but that is okay because it's a lawful calculation. If they cannot afford to pay the legal debts that is owed, then our arrangements can always be suggested for consideration. But it makes sense to start with the full amount that was calculated by the legal case presented. Now, as far as the legal case presented goes, no civil rights leader noticed the loophole that was used to file this case. So it's always a great idea to try something that has not ever been tried before. End of story. Malcolm X missed it. MLK missed it. Elijah Muhammad missed it. Marcus Garvey missed it. They all overlooked the loophole, just like the U.S. government overlooked the loophole. But the Almighty showed it to Knox, St. Michael, Eve Uz, I'm saying the second, aka St. Michael, the same brother who was chosen to be inducted as the sacred shrine of the Nile Valley in East Africa, where the Njaru clan protects the art of the covenant in modern day Kenya. So I know the word out on the street that, it's in Ethiopia. Well, you have to understand, how would and why would the Almighty allow, Hamites to have in our protection? And they were trying to line it up with Queen Sheba and King Solomon. But let's move forward. More will come in days or, whenever the Almighty lead me to bring forth that information. Now, the part that may have raised an eyebrow for some is actually one of the best reasons to push this case. Many people only care about economics, but my personal favorite reason is that This case doesn't neglect the spiritual components of our struggle for justice. This case was filed by the kingdom of heaven because whoever has Gat-E, Art of the Covenant, and Ikunjo, original scrolls of Moses, actually has the legal and lawful capacity, standing, status, and jurisdiction of the kingdom of heaven on earth. That's a fact, no fiction. Cherokee Dr. Lee Brown in 1986 dropped a jewel about the sacred stones tablet of the four races, but many people missed it. He clearly tells you who keeps the stone tablets of the black race and where during the first 5 minutes of this video. And we're doing the first 5 minutes of this video. This would be the leaders of the Angiro clan from the Kikuyu, tribe of Mount Zion, which is modern day Mount Kenya. The same clan who Jack Kirby credited for inspiring the triple Oscar award-winning Black Panther Marvel franchise. The people who live on the real mountain that was created by the meteorites you saw at the beginning of the Black Panther. Ever since St. Michael Day 2018, September 29, 2018, St. Michael is the lawful ambassador to the African diaspora for the keepers of the Ark of the Covenant who came out of hiding in 2009 when President Obama went into office. He did the right thing by using the power vested in his title to file charges on behalf of the black race, because is one of the only people who has the ability to do that for us, and flexibility to counter any government who tries to use sovereignty of immunity to dodge the bullet. Because you can't claim the sovereignty against the kingdom of heaven. That's where sovereignty originates from. Yes, this case will be interesting to follow and see what happens, because nothing like this has ever happened before. You better believe it, family. Nothing. No one have came, close to this. And I just want to say this. I don't know where all this is headed, family. I know what I seek and pray to the Most High for, But I tell you what, just say nothing happens from this. That this is a step, moving forward. Let me explain. This has never happened before. This is giving the people at Washington with 1600, Pennsylvania Avenue, and his cabinet and all, you better believe. And I'm going to show you, you better believe that this is actual, a moment in time. And I'll show you how many news outlets is talking about, as of yesterday, about the Reformed Jews want to look into reparation for the African Americans. Okay. Let's move on. Another reason is the legal argument presented is founded on a key loophole that we honestly don't even think will make it to court. Once we announce the loophole in the media and the public becomes aware of it, we believe Donald Trump will sign an executive order to abolish slavery without even taking the matter to court. Yes, we found a mistake that Lincoln made in 1863. That's why we are able to charge his estate with negligence. And when the public gets loud enough about it, we predict Donald Trump will go down in history as the president who abolished slavery in America by executive order. Wow. So family, Donald Trump had said some months back, maybe last year sometime, that the black people was going to end up loving him. And he said it real quick, and then I went to look for that footage and couldn't find it. So I'm like, did I dream that, or did it actually happen? So family, this could be the start of something that the Almighty is just putting us in this right line up. As he said, we know, hey, how Donald Trump's mindset is, and we know that the Most High, makes no mistakes. He uses and put people in places, to carry out for his purpose. And just how we might visualize how things should unfold, we really have to understand and know that the Most High is the master chess player, and he put people in places for his purpose. Let's continue. We have plenty more reasons, but we'll end with this one. In the event everything goes bad with the legal case, we still win because we already have the independent solution to fall back on. Worst case, we will simply redirect the attention to completing what was started on July the 16th, 2019, with the Black America's Mass Migration 2027 petition. Sign it if you haven't already. So there is no losing at all as Black America rally around this reparation case. Simple and plain, the solution is already here. So, it is, when we think about it, that this is all moving in the right, path and steps. And even with, just listening to this, the mindset of one who wrote this, and even, just say it's Prince Michael, I believe it was by him. The Almighty may not have given him every step of what and how things are going to happen. You understand? So we got to be mindful of that. And by reading the Bible and seeing how Father put people out before you to move the pieces and to, get things in order. So this could be the start of, he might be watering, planting the seed, someone else may come water it, and then what? Yeshua comes through with what? The swoop. So we don't know. And I said the swoop, you know what I mean? That, redeem us in that regard. So we don't know. So this is very interesting, family. Wanted to share this with you all. This is some more information here that he has. And then now I want to take your attention to, I got so much stuff up. Now this is where he did a video. So let's check this out. He was in Atlanta. I want to say it was, if you all familiar with Dr. Mumby, she invited him, and I want to say it was, where are we at? One moment, family. I thought, just bear with me one moment. Let me see if I can get to it. Might need to go to, nope. One moment. So, okay, let's get to it. Okay, so there's a video I want to share. This is it right here. So, one moment. So let's share this.
The highest of mountains. Let's get this right. Hold on. They said in the latter days, or in the last days, because it's actually written by two different prophets. Isaiah and Micah said this. They said in the last days, the mountain of the Lord's temple will be established as the highest of mountains. It will be exalted above the hills, and people from all nations will flow to it. Many people will come and say, come, let us go up the mountain to the temple of the God of Jacob. He'll teach us his ways and judge amongst nations, and the laws will go forth from Zion. Okay, we get it somewhere. The laws, y'all didn't hear in 2008, or many people did not recognize that when Obama went into office, the elders in Kenya pulled a very serious power move. They told the world on a website, they launched a website with some information that they normally keep sacred, kept sacred. You know what I'm saying? Somehow it ended up in Black Panther, but that's another story. We'll talk about that another time. Somehow this information got out early, and once again, we'll talk about it another time, but they actually put the information out in 2008 and told the world that we are willing, the chief seer, the guys who watch the stars, the chief of them said he is going to authorize the declassification of the original scrolls of the Kabiru people. Kabiru, that is the old name of the Kikuyu tribe. Kabiru, remember the K and the G and the H are interchangeable. So the Kabiru people are the Kikuyu. Now when I say it's interchangeable, Kabiru, Gabiru, Habiru, Hebrew, the original Kabiru Hebrew scrolls are now authorized to be declassified, opened up, shown to the entire world what was said as it was said in the beginning. Before the Vatican got their hands on it. Before the Greeks and the Romans and they burned down the Temple of Alexandria. Y'all didn't hear this messenger of the chief seer 2 months ago said, we are rejuvenated. Yes, they stole certain aspects of this, but they did not steal the central core of the African wisdom, the esoteric African wisdom, the holy divine wisdom. Don't get screwed up when I say the word esoteric. Just look it up. It just means hidden. Many things are hidden. Many things are esoteric. You see what I'm saying? Many things are hidden. Those secrets you've been keeping from each other, from your mother, your brothers, your wives, your husband, that's esoteric. So it's just about things that were hidden. Why were things hidden? Because certain things did not need to end up in people's hands, certain people's hands. And we know what that is. So now we're in a place at a point in time where we know where the mountain of Zion is at. And on December 27th, the entire world needs to participate in the, not just national prayers, we need to make this global prayers. And let's see what happens when the entire world actually sends their energy back to the point that's been sending energy to you your whole life. Let's see what happens when we actually reciprocate. Let's see what happens when we actually reciprocate. You know what I'm saying? With the other side. When two become one. Fusion. That's a source of life, right? You look at the sun, ain't nothing but fusion going on in the sun. Two becoming one. That which is unagreeable becoming agreeable. Let's just decide to work it out and be one. Let's be a family. We ain't gonna go nowhere until we are ready and want to be a family again. And what's holding us back is this false notion of the first law of nature. Let me tell you, you were lied to once again. The first law of nature is not self-preservation. That's the first law of behaviors. The first law of nature is community preservation. You understand? We come from a culture that don't just hunt for one person or one family. We look at it as if there's 50 men in the village, guess what? Each child got 50 fathers. You understand? If there's 50 children in the village, each man walking around got 50 children. So that mindset shows you that the original law of nature is preservation of the community. But I can go on and on. But I told y'all, what I wanted to tell y'all, make sure y'all know, is that Mount Kenya is Mount Zion in December 27th. Every single year, y'all great genius and brilliant minds and all great minds need to come together and figure out a way how to get the entire world, or at least our people, or at least the number of 144,000 black people, to get to Kenya at the same time. I'll close with this because I see Shantae. Dr. Moby said one thing, and this is the last thing I'm going to end y'all with. She said that there was a curse placed on our people. Okay? There was a curse placed on our people. We need to start identifying and calling the devil by his name. The Masonic lodges, you understand, the things that they did. Now look at this, I'm going to show you. It's called the Asiento of 1713. Each and every one of you need to learn and know about the Asiento of 1713 because it was a Masonic contract between two Illuminati factions, the British Empire and the Spanish Empire. And what did they do? They contracted for the sale and purchase of 144,000 black people from Africa to be sold into slavery in the Caribbean and South Americas. You understand? Back in 1713. And they sold them for how much? Each one of those slaves were sold for 33.5 crowns. Understand, the Illuminati, or whatever books they read that they stole from us, they knew that even though there would be more than 144,000, they knew that spiritually they needed to write that number, 144,000, on that contract, so that way they can cover every single one of the original aspects that make our spirit what it is. So, yeah, we need to uncover some things, and I'll end it right here. Peace and love on Ambassador Prince Michael.
Again, this is a video, and you could follow him on Ambassador Prince Michael Page on there. So let's go to the next. Let's see what I want to bring up next. Okay, so let's go here. So I just want to show you all these pages, and I'll share the link, and then you all can go and check it out. I think I was just on this one. Okay, I was on it, but this will be from the beginning as far as the home page. Just wanted to just show you all what's out there. Okay. Just waiting for it to update. We're already 25 minutes in. Okay, so just gonna go down and show you some things, and you can check it out in your own. This was shared in the video about the 40 instant embassies. You can check that out. And like he said, according to the Bible, when we look at the prophecies, I've heard different teaching that we will be gathered, ones will be gathered and taken into a wilderness and covered in shield. And there will be ones that will go through the tribulations. And, I heard, everybody be in the tribulations. And I shared in my other video that I saw a city, a village, I want to say, of, homes, and they all looked the same. They were white with the, far as the topping of the roofing were this dark burnt orange. And they had like a long, breezeway or porch coming out from the door from the side. But it was all of them were the same size. And they kind of remind you of like a hut, but it was made of structure, right? And then it was a village. It was a whole village. And it was beautiful far as also with the greenery, the grass. And I remember it just was beautiful. So I saw that in a dream, and I was like, oh, wow, is this going to be in Africa? That's what I said. And I had this dream like last year. So I know he's speaking about America, right? Of what we can do here. And at one point in time, we had, the Black Wall Street and, so forth, and what they did to come in and, just take it by burning, by bombing. And when the Almighty put us in his hedge of protection, ain't nothing that they can do. If that's where the Almighty want us at, right, in America. Like I said, I'm still seeking, and I strongly suggest you seek and pray also and whatnot, and that he is, praying, seeking, and he already got a plan in action, right? It's already started. So that's why you need to seek the Most High for yourself and see what the Most High has for you. I saw it as it would be in Africa, but hey, there can be, however the Almighty choose it to do. All I know is that this is something that I feel led to share. Again, I don't have all the ins and out, family, but I do, want to be obedient and share what the Most High is leading me to share. So again, this is the website here, and you can check it out. And just know that he's been busy. And according to this, it's like if he started this about 2 years ago, and that's about the same time that I woke up. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's move forward here. So I'm gonna share that link with you all, and also this is another one that I want to share. Okay. Oh my goodness. One moment. Let me just give it a moment. Okay. So this is the other link. Now, there is I'm sorry, family. I need to, turn off these different alerts. But I'm doing this. I haven't learned how to do that yet. Okay, I don't know why I end up here. Um, let me, that's not making any sense there. Why I'm there, I'm not sure. Okay. All right. We're not editing. Please understand. Okay, so we've been at BAM 27. Okay, the migration. Let's see what else I got going on here. I'm basically gonna cover all of this. Okay, let me just go back out and let me see if I can get anything. Let me see if maybe this is it where I want to go. Now, this was something profound about Michael Jackson. At the time that Prince St. Michael was getting inducted to be an ambassador and also a prince, same thing was a manager that managed Michael Jackson also got that too as well. So they actually were at the same time. So I'm just going to go through and show you all this, and you can actually take your time and go through. I went through and read it last night, and a lot of great, different things that stood out. One was Isaiah, I forgot which chapter that stood out, but Michael Jackson part in it was that he had a song, right? He wrote a song, and it ties into Mount Kenya, which is known to be Mount Zion. So this is a letter here from actually Michael Jackson's nephew, okay? And I'm not going to go ahead and read it all, family. I'm just going to just share some things here. This is another letter here, and you can, take the moment to read it. But definitely that scripture. It says Isaiah chapter 2. So I'm going to get that before we get off. Isaiah chapter 2, 1 through 4. So this is another website that you want to, look at right here. And then there's videos where they're planting a tree, dirt from America and dirt from Africa, and they mix it together and plant a tree. I want to say that was last year. So by now the tree done got bigger now. But it was a definitely beautiful that they, did that together. This is interesting right here too. It says $5 million used budget for new documentary, or it's a connecting Michael Jackson to the Ark of the Covenant and Marvel Black Panthers. So it says that Circle of Humanity Inc. is announcing a $5 million deal was recently signed on December the 3rd. So this year, in 2019, Nevada to produce, Las Vegas, Nevada to produce what is arguably the greatest story ever told about Michael Jackson. So it's called Heal the World Decoded, Michael and the Sacred Tablets. So another interesting find there, family. Like I said, you can take your time and look through this yourself. And let's see, I wanted to draw your attention. Then we're going to go to Isaiah 2 and 4. Okay. But I wanted to say, because cover this right here about the Jews that said that they want to, get underway to the reparations. So reform means make changes in something, typically a social, political, or economic institution or practice, in order to improve its. And then, so when you look at this here, this is coming off of the Reform Jews for Slavery. And it says, Reform Jews call for reparation for slavery. So this is the Washington Post. I covered this, I want to say yesterday I covered this, but look how many other news outlets, and I'm not sure it's put on regular news were talking heads, but it's in the news. The time of Israel, they had it, and look how close. 2 days ago, this was AP News, and you just can see how many people, as far as the different outlets, is talking about this. Okay. So this one right here is going back to Wisconsin Jewish Chronicle, right? So there's like a lot of them jumping on board, right? And I'm just going to click in that. But I just want to give you an idea to see that so many of them are speaking of this. So let's take a look at this together. I haven't seen it yet. Excuse me. Okay. So this right here says reform movement may advocate for reparation for slavery. And I did a timeline. So this will be before the timeline that I saw from the 13th. And it just, here, speaking of the Union for Reform Judaism, is it set to consider the resolution to advocate for United States reparation for both slavery and historic discrimination. So this would put, this story before the shooting also. So so it appeared to be that this was already in motion. Okay. So it says here about 5,000, but I saw it one area was 800. So it could be different areas, family, that they're all connected. So Jews are expected to attend, and this is a nation around the nation and beyond for worship, learning, and discussion, right? So let's come out this. So again, so you can see that this actually is out there in the news. I haven't seen it in the New York Times yet, but it did hit the Washington Post, right? So here we go, family. You can see, then I'm going back a little further here, but you can see how different platforms are talking about it, right? So let's get Isaiah 2, and I'm gonna close out some of these things here. Okay. So Isaiah 2 and 4, Isaiah 2, 1 and 4. And I need to get back to that area where it says surrounding that. Why did they even brought it up? So y'all at least can know that. But I know the ones who would read, they will get that understanding as well. So let's go to Isaiah. So Old Testament, we there. Isaiah 2. And let's start at 1, and this is what it says. So before we do that, let's just go back and read to why they even directing us to this. It will be here, and okay, so excuse me, waiting for it to come up. Okay. Okay. It's updating. Okay. Band-Aid over the world, huh? Okay. All right. Nice. Okay. So it says here, I'm just going to open this up. So now this was an invitation. So now this what it says here surrounding. It says the introductory letter from Mr. and they actually darken out, but Garvey, because I think this is not the Garvey, I think this may be his son, I'm not sure. Let me make sure. Leaves us convinced your coming to Kenya and meeting with us was psychic and prophetic. Your teaming with Mr. Garvey will no doubt fulfill prophecy of prophet Isaiah, who was the black ancestry living around 700 BC. In Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1 and 4, he prophesies about Mount Kenya prayer walk. So let's go there. So that's what it was about. So let's go back there. So let's start it. Sorry about that, family. You can see my signal is perfect, but it's taking its time. So it says here that Isaiah 2, starting at the first verse, the word that Isaiah the son of Amoz saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in that last days, that the mountain of the Almighty's house shall be established in the top of the mountain, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Almighty, to the house of the Almighty of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his path. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Almighty from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, that they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Neither shall not lift up swords against nations, and neither shall they learn war any more. So this is Isaiah 1 through 4, I'm sorry. And this, speaking of what's to come, about the nations will come and ones will learn, where that, which is Mount Zion. So that just have, probably a lot of people saying, well, I thought it was where they say is at, in Israel. Well, the Mount Zion, if you can see the Mount Zion that they actually call Mount Zion, family, they got buildings and stuff on top of that Mount Zion. It's so small. These people, let me explain again and again and again and again. We're dealing with wicked people. We have always been dealing with wicked people. Father gave us over to what? Our enemies. And in the midst of that, we will serve what? Their gods. So we need to come out from among them and repent and, keep these commandments as Father have said. Let's go to, let's see here. It was Deuteronomy 32. So let me get there right quick. And this is when Moses was having a conversation with our ancestors. Let me go back. 32. Where you at? Okay. So I'm just starting at the first. I'm not sure where, but it says here, give ear, O ye heaven, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the word of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, and the small rain upon the tender herbs, and as the showers upon the grass. Okay. He is the rock. His work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment. A God of truth and without iniquity, just and right is he. Okay, so make sure I have the right one, family. Okay, one moment. So, so as it is written, for there are nations void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Let me go down a little bit further here. For the Lord shall judge his people and repent himself of his servants when he seeth, and their power is gone, and there is none shut up or left. And he shall say, where are their gods, their rock in whom they trusted? So in this day and time right now, he put us out forth, right? Back then, we were serving other gods. That's why we got in this situation today, right? And still to this day, if he turned us over to our enemies and we're serving their gods, then when did you stop? You got to search within yourself and understand this truth. What gods that they have that you're not serving? Go deeper, family. Go real deep. Repent. Ask the Almighty to show you, those gods, and that you will repent from them and turn away from your ways keeping the commandments, and being, a vessel unto the Almighty as he is leading us day in and day out as a vessel according to what his purpose. All right, family, that's all I have right now. Have a great rest of your day. I'll, keep you posted as the Almighty leads and guide me. But again, with the information pertaining to the documents is in the White House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And there are some loopholes that were there, right? And either they're going to go to court and face what is what, or either, he said, this is what he said, that more likely Trump is probably going to abolish slavery, because slavery was never abolished. It only was the yoke that was loosened from around our necks. Okay, so that's why, it's not written. We still consider 3/5 of a human being. They count what? 3 men, one, one man, and they count, 3 of us to their 1 man, or 3 men as one. So we have been 13% going back from the 1800s. And we're still 13% this day. How is that? Only way possible is that they still count us as 3/5 according to what they say. So 3/5 of a human being, the 13th Amendment say that, far as servitude or involuntary, slavery, right? But if you commit a crime and you get what? Convicted of that crime, then you are considered a slave. Period. Again. So all the millions of our Hebrew brothers and sisters are in prison for this little thing. Oh, they, what that is, what that really is all about. That was their way of putting them back to be their slaves, to work whatever they're working for, many, many little of money, like, under $2 a day, or either not even that, family. But we still in our captivity, and we are waiting for our redemption from the Almighty. And this is steps in the right direction. And I may not understand all, I may not get all, and you may not either. But I'm telling you, even if this wasn't presented before us, we need to repent. Period. We need to come back to these commandments. Period. And just believe and understand and know that this, what we have, and I presented today, yesterday, and the day before, has not ever been in that lineup. In the midst. And then you have the Jewish community who feel as though they want to, have the conversation about slavery, when that wasn't never really, apparently to us, an issue, a concern of theirs. But a lot I can say more in this video, but I'm going to close out due to the Almighty not leading me to. And of course, look at the time, in 48 minutes in, almost 50 minutes, right? So family, take care. See you in the next video. Know our redemption is near. Know our redemption is near. Know that our redemption is near. Shalom, family. Shalom. Shalom.